Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Tell It to Trevor. Today on my podcast, I have.
You have Vondugon, the demon from Arizona Wrestling Federation. How is everybody doing today?
Doing good, just wish I had some coffee.
Oh man, yo, I had it straight ordered
I,
to
g-
my door.
I got sweet tea from a restaurant in my town called AJ's.
uh
And then we got this water.
Oh, what's crazy is like literally like you can look over my wall and it's the Starbucks right there. Like they literally is so close. Like the guy would literally just walk it to my door. Like he would just literally walk it to my door and I'd give him like an extra couple dollars. So yeah, I
The
was like,
only,
yeah, I'm lucky I got that one. That's a hookup.
the only like, not church, coffee shop I can walk to is at my church, which is at the Verb Church. I'm in the Bird Church. The coffee shop's called the Verb Coffee Shop, I want to say. But I love going to them because they're like super cheap. Like a latte is like $3,
Oh yeah, I just paid $6 for this.
and I go to. They're like, so you work for a coffee shop, but you go to a
A different
go to
coffee shop.
ours when you get it for free, and I'm like, look. At the end of the day, when I'm off of work, I don't want to go make my own coffee.
That
Like,
totally understandable.
I'm invested into my coffee, my company, the coffees. Even though it's not coffee, it's just water. But all right, what sparked your interest in the professional wrestling industry?
What sparked my interest was my grandfather. Like growing up, like he's who got me into wrestling. Like he took me
Yeah.
to my first match, which was like, cause I'm from California. He took me to my first Rey Mysterio match. Like my first wrestling match ever was a Rey Mysterio match, and I actually got to. Of course, my phone rings, but we're gonna ignore that. But yeah, freaking. I actually got to meet Rey Mysterio at like when I was like 6 or 7 years old, and ever since then, I've always was into wrestling. But back then, I like, of course, this is gonna keep ringing. Back then, I always thought you had to know somebody to know somebody to know somebody
Yeah.
to get into wrestling. Like, I never just knew like, oh, you can find a wrestling school and just start going training and hey, become an indie wrestler until I moved to Arizona. Yes, but my grandfather is what initially got me into wrestling. Oh my God, mom.
Um,
Everybody's calling now. Everybody. That was my mom. She called my house and she called my phone.
um, who were the wrestlers you idolized as a kid?
The, Rey Mysterio, still to this day, is there. Like, he's literally what like watching him wrestle, and back then, like I'm not gonna lie, I was still I was kind of tall for my age, and I'm like, yo, he's my height. So
Yeah.
I was like, yo, if he can do it, I can do it. And then just like watching his career prolong, and seeing where he came from and where he's at now, like yeah. Like Rey Mysterio's, and then I'm from California. I'm big on. I love I love my state. I love where I'm from. I'm like,
Yeah.
yo, that he's the GOAT to me.
Yeah. What was I mean? How did you get started in the wrestling world? Like,
So it was crazy. I was sitting here just like this, watching wrestling, and I'm just like, just threw up on YouTube a whole bunch of wrestling reels, right? And
yeah,
I had just moved to Arizona from LA, and I'm just going like I'm just letting it autoplay each video, and then they come across some wrestling matches, the AEW dark matches, and they had this girl named Brittany Brooks on AEW, and they started interviewing her, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I train out of Arizona at Arizona Wrestling Federation." I'm like, "Wait a minute, I just moved to Arizona. Let me look this
yeah,
up." So I looked it up, and I'm like, "Whoa, I'm like." I didn't know that there was actual schools like you can go train for wrestling at. So my mom calls me and she was like, "Oh, what you doing?" And like, just checking up because I just moved out here. And I'm like, I'm looking at this wrestling school. I was like, I'm thinking about going down there and checking it out. And she goes, "Oh, that's cool." So I hang up with her. Maybe about 30 minutes later, she calls me back and was like, "I ordered you an Uber to go down there to the wrestling school and check it out." And I'm like, "Mom, I said I was thinking about checking it out. I never said I was going down there." And I'm like, "Since you ordered the Uber already, I don't want you to, because they charge you to cancel it anyway." So I was like, "I'd go ahead and go down there." I went down there and I haven't stopped since that day.
Yeah. Um, what was your first wrestling match like?
Oh, my first wrestling match. Uh, I loved it and hated it at the same time. Like it was a it was a 3v1 handicap match here at AWF, Arizona Wrestling Federation. It was my showcase. It was pretty much my debut. And the way it was set up, it
Yeah.
was I felt like I didn't get enough to showcase who I was at my own debut. Like I
Yeah.
loved it because I'm out there wrestling, but at the same time, like after I got done, I was like, oh man, I wish I had more time to wrestle longer. But at the end of it, I really did love it. Like it was fun. Like and then the guys that I debuted with were actually guys I started training with like a day apart from each other. So the match went like surprisingly well because we've been training with each other for like a year and a half by this point. So,
Yeah.
our chemistry was on point and everything was great. I freaking loved it.
What are your goals in the future of the wrestling business?
So, what's it's funny you asked me that because my trainer just literally just asked me that yesterday. And I keep it real. I'm gonna have to keep it real. I am 37 years old, right? And I barely started wrestling 2 years ago. So I started late, later than most. And I'm I'm not aiming to WWE or AEW like a lot of young guys.
Yeah.
Like it's a passion for me. I love wrestling. I've been watching wrestling my entire life. Uh and just to be able to get out there, see fans, I want to be a established and known wrestler within the Arizona community. Now, like I tell my trainer, like if I got reached out to by major promotions, then yeah, I will, of course I'm gonna say yes and do it. But
Yeah.
as far as like being realistic, I'm only 5'11". Yeah, I'm not 6'4", 6'5", I'm skinny as hell. And so I love to get out there and just wrestle. So I just want to be bigger in Arizona, like be a like an actual state-based wrestler. And
Yeah.
if I get offers from other promotions, yes, I do travel, I do go. But realistically, I do it because it's a true passion of mine. I truly love freaking wrestling.
Can you describe your wrestling persona or character for the fans around the world?
Yes, I can. So, Vondugon is initially from Los Angeles,
Okay.
and the type of person I am, I never believed in spirits or ghosts or anything like that. My father is from Louisiana, so we went back. My character went back to Louisiana to visit my father, and we came across a voodoo house. And me being the heel that I am, disrespected all of the voodoo in this house. And a couple days later, I wake up like my character's possessed by a voodoo demon. So it could be time. It's more or less like a split personality, but not a split personality. It's like a better yet, it's like a Two Face. Think of Two Face. So like
Okay.
when you see me come out and I have my face paint and everything else on, that's when the demon's in control. And then when I come out just with like just a contact, no face paint, and I have a tactical vest on, and like my music's different, that's when I'm just regular old me. But altogether, Von like he does not care about any like titles like that. He just wants to see people drown in despair. Like I don't care about losing. He doesn't care about winning. He just care about getting out there and going and proving the point.
Um, can you share a memorable moment from your wrestling career so far?
A memorable moment. Yes, I can. So I was wrestling at freaking it was the Strongman Beer Fest out here in Arizona. And we have two training schools. We have one out here in Phoenix and we have one in Tucson. And the trainer in Tucson, he was out there wrestling with us too. And I just got done with my match, and my mom came, like, hey, and she's sitting there because my mom's a big wrestling fan as well, and she's sitting there watching, and like I have my back turned towards the ring, and I have something else coming up where I'm about to run in the ring, and all I hear my mom goes is, "Oh my God, what am I looking at?" Right? And I turn around, I turn around, and a trainer from Tucson, like somebody like pulled his tights down and it exposed his G string.
Oh,
And I was supposed to go in there and do something to them, like you know, I was supposed to go in there and attack him, but the fact that his G string was out, I went in there and attacked the other two. I was like, we're gonna leave your butt, in your butt area over that way. But like the
yeah.
way that it went down and like it was just hilarious. Like it was one of the most memorable moments because I just turned around and I just see like a full moon in my face. I was like, okay, well then. But yeah, that was it's so far like oh well no. I have to take that back. I forgot about this past weekend. I got to meet Mustafa Ali, Hammerstone, Masters, Moose, and a few others. And they came and actually wrestled with my promotion. That was like as far as in like memorable as in people, but as far as in memorable as in wrestling, like it has to be the G string to take the cup. Like, hey, I like you just, you're in the zone. I'm getting my mom situated, and I'm like, yo, what did I bring my mom to? Like, my mom's 68 years old, and she's sitting there looking at this grown man in a G-string. Like, I was like, and she's laughing, like she is freaking like laughing her ass off, and I'm like, mom, I'm like. I have to go in there and grab this man by the waist and his booty's out. I was like, I'm gonna go in there and get the other guy.
Um, can you describe the feeling of winning your first championship?
I wish I could. I have not won a championship yet.
Okay.
I
We'll have to
wish
bring
I
you
could.
back on when you win your first championship.
Yes, yes. I have not won one yet.
Um,
And all I get right now is, oh, he. This is I I hate it and I don't hate it at the same time. I get the uh he's the Black Undertaker of Arizona.
okay.
Well, because there's literally no like as far as I can see, I know pretty much most of the Arizona indie wrestlers, and there's really no dark characters. Like
Yeah.
so, I'm like, yeah, I get it, and then at the same time, I don't get it. Like the Black Undertaker, that's like Damian Priest, the bisexual Undertaker. Like I'm like,
Yeah.
yo, everybody want to compare us to Undertaker.
How do you handle the mental and emotional aspects of wrestling?
Ooh, that's a good one. That is a good one. Um, for the most part, I like we have a like Lawrence Taylor is our coach. He was in the WWE as well. Um,
Yeah.
for the most part, we like I go to him and we get advice from him. But at the same time, like I said, I'm 37. I'll be 38 this year. Uh, I have a lot of patience. I have kids. I have 3 kids, so like it don't really get to me. I like to sit back and analyze everything that's going on And then, sometimes I haven't been getting booked as much as I wanted to lately. And I'm not that's it has been getting to me because all I want to do is wrestle. And
Yeah.
all I like it gets to you, but at the same time, it's like all you can do is perfect your craft, perfect who you are as a wrestler, and just keep grinding and going hard. Don't let it get you down. Like, because to me, it's like once you let it drag you down, it's going to be extremely hard to come back up from that level. Like, you'll start to feel like nothing you can do is reach to the level where you were at before you got brought down to that area. So it's just, you just got to step back and think about it. Like, and then sometimes, like, it's okay to take a couple months off, if the stress is like seriously getting to you. Because at the end of the day, like your mental, your physical health, all that is important as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, if it gets to that point, I highly recommend taking a little time off, to recuperate yourself, get your mind right, like, and then come back at it strong.
All right, so we're gonna start the segment Triv Shock. I don't know if you've heard of it before or not.
Nah, give me a
So,
rundown. What is it?
so it's like when you're in a business meeting and you have those rapid fire questions.
Okay,
So mine is you got 50 seconds to answer 6 questions.
15 or 50?
50.
You said 50?
Yes.
Okay, let's go. Let's shoot.
All right. I'll start the timer after the first question, after I finish reading it. Favorite pre-show snack?
Candy corn.
Pre-show song?
California Love.
Favorite wrestler growing up?
Rey Mysterio.
Favorite sports team?
Favorite sports team?
Yes.
San Diego Chargers. Or Los
Favorite
Angeles now.
favorite color?
Blue.
Favorite type of music?
Hip hop.
So you beat it with, well, you didn't beat the record, but you have 24 seconds remaining.
Oh, nice.
The record is 35 seconds, holded by Corey Dillinger.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, let's see. Where? Okay. What are the biggest challenges of being a professional wrestler outside of the ring?
The biggest challenge is being a professional wrestler outside of the ring. Staying in shape. Being
Staying in shape.
motivated to go to the gym. Yeah.
Okay.
Like what one thing from this is my personal opinion,
Yeah.
but from what I've noticed, like your body's everything. The more you look like a wrestler, the more you're gonna get. And the more like with me, if I see somebody putting more effort into the way their body look as well as their, actual wrestling, like that that shows that they really are into it and really want to do it. So like, and that's one of my biggest things. Like I get to the gym and I will literally sit in my car for like 30 minutes, convincing myself to get up and go in the gym. Like, and I'm trying to come up with every excuse why I can't go to the gym while I'm already there in the car. Like, yo, just get your ass up, go in there, work out for an hour, and get it over with.
Yeah.
That's like my biggest challenge. That, like, other than that, the only thing I would say is like traveling. Like sometimes that get like, pretty difficult. Like depending on how far you have to go. Like I have 3 kids as well. I'm married with 3 kids, so it's hard for me to just up jump and just boom, I'm gone.
Yeah.
I have a 1 year old, I have a 13-year old, and I have a 16-year old. So it's pretty hard to just up jump and go.
How do you feel about the business side of wrestling?
Ooh, it could be better.
It could be better.
It could be way better. Yes, the business side of wrestling can be better. But at the same time, when you're a new wrestler and you're just coming in there, it's like, who are you? Like,
Yeah,
like, why should I book you? You know, and what I have noticed is a lot of promoters still have that 80s aspect of wrestling when it comes to
yeah.
promotions. Yeah, so yeah. And then yeah, the business side can be a lot better. But I really don't complain as long as I get to wrestle.
Yeah.
Like, of course I would love to get paid for it, but overall, I'm not really doing it for the money. Like I'm not like I make more money at my job. Like well at the job I had, I make more money, that way than I do wrestling. So I'm not doing it for the money. Like I have a passion for wrestling, and some promoters are just completely about the money. They don't really even watch their own show. They don't watch the wrestlers who's on their roster. And I'm not saying that's every promoter because it's not. Like I've come across some freaking promoters that's freaking awesome, you know, and even if it's a bad promoter, like I'll still will wrestle with for him. Like
Yeah.
as long as you don't do me scandalous, I'm gonna get out there and wrestle, and I'm gonna try to put on a great show for you, regardless if you're a good person or not. Like it's just a passion I have for wrestling. But it's just like with anything. There's always can be improvements.
Let's see. And then how do you feel about the promotions shaping the storylines?
um, I wish they would take more feedback from the actual wrestlers.
Okay.
Like to me, it's like they some like flat out some storylines just don't make no sense.
Yeah.
It just like flat out makes no sense. And then it's like if we could work together, come together with our ideas instead of me coming to you with an idea and you going, hey, no, we're not going to do it this way. We're going to do it my way. And it's like,
Yeah.
okay, like so now why am I in a feud with this guy? Like, how did we get here? Like, like to me, the states, a lot of them skip over what led up to the feud and why we're in this big old feud and beefing with each other. So, like, that's my thing. If they just, they don't have to take the ideas, but if be more willing to listen to what we have.
Um, as the tablet just decided to turn its screen. Okay. If you could wrestle any legend wrestler from the past, who would you choose?
Any legend?
Yeah.
Ooh, that is a good one.
The next
Sting.
two are also good,
Oh,
I would say.
living or past are still wrestling. Any legend though, it would have to
Any
be
legend.
Sting. It would have to be Sting.
Sting? Okay. And why?
Freaking, I love Sting. Why Sting? Uh, I don't know. I just love the way he was like that anti-hero, but he was a hero, but not like he looks like he's a villain, but he was like when he first came, from that surfer sting he had to the stinger himself, that's when he
Yeah.
came out and he wasn't a heel, but he was like he was going after all these, the bad guys. And I just love that aspect of him because like you look at this guy and you think he's coming out and he's gonna like just destroy everybody, not care, and then he goes after all the guys who's been causing trouble. Like it's just like I love being thrown off like that. Like so that's one of the reasons why. And then not only that, like it's freaking Sting.
Yeah.
Like the guy's a legend.
Yes. Let's see. If you could go to, if you could attend a wrestling seminar session with any wrestler, who would you choose?
Booker T.
Booker T.
Yeah, Booker T. Because it's my opinion. I like still learning because I'm like I said, I'm still fresh and new to wrestling. Like it's only been a couple years. And I've been watching Booker T my entire life. And to me,
Yeah.
Booker T has some of the most craziest facial expressions when he's selling and he's doing what he's supposed to be doing. I and I just want to learn like what put him in that zone. Like what gets him to go that level. Like if you ever just sit there and watch Booker T's face when he's doing certain things,
Yeah.
like especially like when the Undertaker sneak up on him, the way he just like pauses and like that facial expression, like his mom just caught him going in a cookie jar. Like I I I I love those facial expressions. It sells it more to me.
And then if you could have a wrestling legend as your mentor, who would you choose?
Rey Mysterio.
Right?
Rey Mysterio. Yeah. I base my a lot of my moves off the stuff he does. I even do the 619 sometimes when I'm feeling lucky. So yeah, it would have to be Rey Mysterio.
Um, what is your opinion on the wrestling crossover events with other sports or entertainment industries?
Honestly, I actually kind of like it. Like to me, if I feel like it brought more people into
Mm-hmm.
wrestling, people who didn't even think they would like wrestling, watch it and be like, "Yo, I really like this," you know. I have like a few of my aunts, like they came to my wrestling match, and now they cannot stop coming. Like they pop up when I don't even say nothing. Like I'm about to be wrestling with another promotion. I look in the crowd and I see like half of my family over there. I'm like, how did you guys even know about this one? like, like they literally go to wrestling events that I'm not even wrestling at. And I remember growing up, they'll come home and they'll be like, turn that fake stuff off. And now they cannot stop watching it. So, I think it just, it opened the door for more fans,
Yeah.
like for more people. Oh my mom, not right now. I will call you back, mom. Sorry about that. But yeah, like I feel like it just opens and you know, it opens more for more fans to come in. And it's a diverse fan group now as well. It's a way more diverse fan group. So like I
Yeah.
think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing.
Um, what advice would you give to an aspiring wrestler?
The advice I would give to inspiring wrestler: always stick to your basics. Always focus on going back to your basics. And if you truly are truly passionate and can like you really want to wrestle and you know you're gonna wrestle, as soon as you know what your gimmick is or who you are as a wrestler, make sure you order your gear immediately because trying to get a good gear maker is one of the hardest things I have ever tried to come across. So yeah. Once you
Yeah.
do that, yeah, just stick to it and never give up. Right? It's gonna get hard. You're gonna get frustrated, but just never give up. Just believe in yourself and keep going. Oh my god. Yo, I will call you back. That was my wrestling coach.
Can you talk about a significant feud you had and how it helped you grow as a wrestler?
Like so you said significant views.
Yeah, feud.
Oh, a significant I so far so well right now with my character in Arizona Wrestling Federation, I only get along with one person, and which is female called Save One Soul. Everybody else I don't like. Like my character does not like. I don't even try to get along with people. And that can be a good thing and it also can be a bad thing. because right now, my promoter don't know who to put me up with in a feud with. So we're stuck in a dilemma where you could be stuck in limbo. And
Yeah.
next thing you know, all you're doing is wrestling battle royales and Royal Rumbles. Like, so until they find something concrete for you to do.
What was it like working with a particular wrestler you really clicked with in the ring?
It's freaking awesome. I there's a few wrestlers in my promotion. Like once you have that chemistry and you click with them, I can look at their facial expression, look at their body language, and know what they're coming to do next. Like we don't even have to say anything to each other. I know what's coming. Like so it just clicks easy. And then that trust level, like you don't get nervous or get scared or, with certain moves, you just go right into it because like you trust this person. Like you know this person has you.
Can you describe your training process and what was the most challenging part of learning to wrestle?
The most challenging part, honestly, it was just like my coach calls me he calls me the cheater because like all like a lot of guys they have to a lot of guys have to get in there and practice a certain thing that they just learning over and over. And with me, I can literally watch my coach do it one time and boom, I go in there and I got it. So like sometimes he won't even let me like it got to the point where he'll have all the trainees come in there training. And I will have to wait till after the class to get like an hour to 2 hours personal time with the coach to show me some more of that stuff. That was like one of the most difficult things. I having to wait 3 to 4 hours until the class is over just so I can train. Like, but that doing that has actually gotten me closer with my coach, helped me out way more. Like, and one of the most difficult things was learning how to say if I'm wrestling a big guy, like learning what makes sense and what not makes sense. Like it's a small guy versus a big guy. What would be believable and what not would be believable. Like, you're wrestling, so you want to do like all the crazy stuff. But then again, it's like, bro, like you really think you're gonna pick up this 355-pound guy and do this crazy thing to him. And then that was one thing my coach had. He still to this day, he still gets on me about it. Like, you got to make it more believable. Like, we know you can pick these guys up, but if you're gonna do it, hint to it, hint to it, hint to it, struggle with it, and then go for it. And I had that bad problem of just boom going in and going straight for it. Like that was one of my biggest struggles. Like I wanted to do the biggest moves as quick as possible and many as possible.
What hobbies bring you joy outside of the wrestling world?
Hobbies? Well, I'm a I'm a graphic designer. I'm a diehard gamer. I skateboard. I freaking draw. I do everything. When I'm not even trying to, be funny, but like I like to live my life. I like to try to do everything I possibly can. Like, but my main hobbies is I am a die-hard gamer. I game hardcore.
Yeah.
That is
Um,
skateboarding. Yeah.
let's see. What is your favorite gear that you have ever had made?
The favorite gear that I ever had made is the set I'm wearing right now. And it's just basic and plain. Like it really just got like claw marks on the side of my pants. My kick pads that has like they look like teeth on the side of them. Um, other than that, like I haven't had no real super custom gear made. Like I said, it is extremely hard finding a good gear maker that's not too expensive. Like so, and I've just came across one. So I literally just put like a complete new custom order in. I'm gonna be changing my colors up from black and red to, I'm gonna wait to say what colors they is until I get them because I want it to be a surprise to everybody. But yeah, like my whole gear set is about to change up. But other than that, it's a hit and miss. It's a hit and miss because it's freaking hard trying to find good gear maker that's in your price range.
And then where can they find you on social media for the final question?
Where can they find me on social media? You
Yeah.
can find me on Instagram at Vondugon. Uh, YouTube, everything from YouTube to Twitter to Facebook, all under Vondugon. Vondugon. And I also you can go to sg_vondugan.com, and that's my website. And I have merch and stuff up there as well. That's where I actually stream on Twitch, like when I'm doing my game and stuff. But yeah, everything, every social media, I'm under Von Dugan.
Okay. And then thank you for being on the podcast today.
Oh, thank you for having me, man. I appreciate it.
And then a shout out to the sponsors of Wrestling Evolution, TBD Wrestling, and Apple City Championship Wrestling. And guys, remember we're doing a t-shirt contest. I say this every single episode. It is for you guys can win a free t-shirt. Pick which design you want. There's one for the wrestlers and one for the fans. Two separate ones on the link tree. You click the design, the size of shirt, and then your name and your Instagram, so I can let you know if you won.
Oh, cool, cool.
Yeah. All right, and then guys, we will see you next time.
Peace out. Thanks for having me.
No problem.